I was broke. I was depressed. I felt stuck. But I never knew my biggest heartbreak wasn't poverty. It was betrayal from the one I loved most. Chike, a 28-year-old man with dark skin, slim build, and a low-cut fade, lived in Lagos with nothing but debts and dreams. He once had a good job, but lost it during a company layoff. Bills piled up. Friends avoided him. His rent was overdue. At night, he lay awake listening to rats scratch inside the walls, asking himself, "Is this what my life has become?" Adora, his longtime girlfriend, was his only light. She was 25, medium build, fair-skinned, with long braided hair and simple Ankara dress. She encouraged him, "Chike, we'll get through this together. Just don't give up." Her words were like balm, but secretly, Chike feared his brokenness would push her away. But life had its cruel way. Adora reconnected with Michael, her ex from university. Michael, 30, tall, muscular, with caramel skin, low-cut hair, and a fitted designer shirt, had just returned from London. He drove a black Benz and carried himself with confidence. Unlike Chike, Michael had everything Adora once dreamed of. Adora began disappearing in the evenings, saying she was visiting her cousin. But in truth, she sat in Michael's car, laughing at his jokes, breathing in his expensive cologne. Michael tempted her with fine restaurants, wine glasses clinking under dim lights, and whispers of, "I can give you the life you deserve." Chike noticed the change. Adora's calls became shorter, her laughter distant. When he hugged her, her perfume smelled different, like a man's cologne. One night, he saw her phone light up. Michael read heart. His heart sank, but he swallowed his words. Poverty had stolen his pride. Now it was stealing his love. The compound women began whispering. One afternoon, as Chike fetched water from the well, he overheard two neighbors. "That Adora, she's always dressing finer these days," one said, adjusting her headscarf. "Her man no get job, but see her carrying new handbags." The words pierced Chike's chest like knives. He wanted to defend her, but deep inside, he knew the whispers were not lies. One evening, Adora returned home with a gold necklace. She claimed it was from her cousin's wedding, but Chike recognized the designer box. It was Michael's style. He forced a smile and said nothing, but that night, he lay awake, his fists clenched, staring at the ceiling, his heart breaking silently. Chike's childhood friend, Emeka, visited. Emeka, 29, stocky build, dark-skinned with dreadlocks, wore a simple t-shirt and jeans. He leaned close to Chike and whispered, "My brother, open your eyes. That girl is moving with another man. I've seen them in Victoria Island." Chike's chest tightened. He wanted to deny it, but the truth was already clawing its way out. Adora noticed Chike's distance. She wrapped her arms around him one evening and whispered, "You don't believe those gossipers, do you?" Her eyes, bright with charm, begged him to trust her. Chike wanted to confront her, but instead whispered, "I just want us to be okay." He chose silence over truth, though it burned him inside. Michael grew bold. One night, he sent Adora home in his Benz, dropping her at the compound gate. Chike, returning from a fruitless job hunt, saw them. Adora froze. Michael smirked, nodded at Chike, and drove off. Chike's world spun, rage and humiliation boiling together. Inside, Chike finally spoke. "Adora, who is he?" he asked, voice trembling. Adora stammered, "He's just a friend." But Chike snapped, "No friend drops you in a Benz at midnight." For the first time, anger roared in his chest, his love turning bitter. Adora broke down crying. "Chike, I was tired of suffering. You can't even feed yourself, let alone me." Michael offered me help. Her tears cut deep, but her words cut deeper. To Chike, it felt like being stabbed in the heart. News spread quickly in the compound. Children giggled, neighbors gossiped. Chike walked with his head down, avoiding stares. Some pitied him, others mocked. So his fine girl day follow another man. He felt stripped of dignity, like Lagos itself was laughing at him. One evening, Chike returned home to find Adora gone, her clothes, wrappers, and even the gold necklace missing. On the bed was a note. "I'm sorry, Chike. I can't live like this anymore." His heart cracked into pieces. He slumped to the floor, sobbing until dawn. But something inside Chike shifted that night. Broken, humiliated, abandoned, he decided he would never beg again. He dusted off an old notebook where he had written his business ideas years ago. With renewed fire, he whispered, "If the world laughs at me today, tomorrow they will clap." Chaik returned home one rainy evening, his shirt soaked through, his shoes squelching with every step. He pushed open the wooden door of his small room and froze. On the table lay an envelope addressed to him in Adeora's handwriting. His hand shook as he tore it open. Inside was not a love letter, but a confession. She admitted to seeing Michael, but claimed it was only for survival. She said she still loved Chaik, but could not keep living in poverty. Her words felt like knives. His tears mixed with the rain still dripping from his hair, and his chest felt as if it would burst. Chaik began working odd jobs, cleaning, lifting blocks at construction sites, running errands. His body ached, his palms blistered, but he refused to stop. Slowly, he saved small amounts, learning about business from men at the market. He discovered opportunities in food distribution and began supplying restaurants with cheap, quality produce. The more he worked, the stronger he felt. Though exhausted, he began to rebuild his life, brick by brick, sweat by sweat. Meanwhile, Adora sat in Michael's luxury apartment, her body wrapped in silk, but her heart restless. Michael gave her gifts, yes, but no warmth. She realized she had traded loyalty for loneliness. She scrolled through her phone and saw a post. Chaik, smiling faintly, sweaty from lifting produce at the market. Something in her chest twisted. She whispered to herself, "I left a man who truly loved me for a man who only loves himself." One fateful afternoon, Michael's car pulled up to the same market where Chaik worked. He stepped out in designer shoes, exuding arrogance. Traders stopped to stare. Chaik froze when he saw Michael laughing with Adora by his side. Their eyes met, two men bound by one woman. Chaik's jaw tightened. Michael smirked, placing a possessive hand on Adeora's waist. But instead of fighting, Chaik raised his chin and said firmly, "Take care of her. You'll need it." His words dripped with dignity, not defeat. Months passed. Chaik's small food distribution business grew into a company. He now supplied hotels and schools across Lagos. His face glowed with pride, his clothes cleaner, his shoes stronger. Meanwhile, Michael's fortune dwindled due to poor investments. His Benz was repossessed, his apartment nearly empty. Adora, realizing she had chosen wrong, returned to Chaik's doorstep one evening, tears streaking her cheeks. "Chaik, I was blind. Please forgive me." Chaik looked at her, silent for a long moment. Chaik took a deep breath. "Adora," he said softly, "you taught me something. Love without loyalty is empty. I forgive you, but I can't take you back." His voice cracked but stood firm. Adora wept, falling to her knees. At that moment, Chaik realized his true victory wasn't wealth, it was dignity. He stepped out into the evening air, the Lagos sunset painting the sky orange. For the first time, he felt free. They thought betrayal would break him, but it built him. Would you forgive if the person you loved chose wealth over you? Or would you walk away forever? Let me know your answers in the comment section.